So after the budget, we had a statement put out by the PC party. I want to read the quote from PC leader Doug Ford without any editorial additions. Today, Kathleen Wynne continued the re-election spending spree with your money. The Liberals think your vote is for sale and this budget proves it. Kathleen Wynne is writing a lot of checks. She's making big promises with your tax dollars. I've looked at the finances and her checks are going to bounce. You and your families will be stuck with the bill for Wynne's election promises. It has already started. Today's budget includes massive tax increases that will hit 1.8 million hardworking Ontarians and their families, as well as tens of thousands of businesses. Shockingly, this budget includes $2 billion in new tax increases over the next 3 years. That's what Kathleen Wynne is saying in an election year. Just imagine what she will do if she is re-elected. The only good news in this budget for the people of Ontario is that this will be Kathleen Wynne's last budget. The party with the taxpayers' money is over, and for Ontario families, help is on the way. End of quote. So we should talk a little bit about a couple of things. One is there is a personal income tax increase in here. Anybody what they've done is they've changed the brackets and eliminated surtaxes, but bottom line, if anyone earns $95,000 a year, they're going to pay about $200 a year more in tax.
That's what it works out to approximately.
And I think that they've done something, we need to study this further, they've done something with the passive income on the business side, on the corporate side.
Yeah, well, and they've also mirrored the small business changes that were implemented by the federal government to deal with income sprinkling and those other measures.
Right. And the other tax increase that we found is that cigarettes, as of Thursday morning, will go up by $4 a carton.
And that's actually continuing. The 2017 budget actually contained a 3-year tax increase. So there was $2 per carton increase as of 2017, $4 in 2018, and then another $4 in 2019.
So if you are someone that earns $95,000 a year and you smoke, you didn't come out of this very good.
You're funding childcare.
But the money you save on childcare, you'll pay on more tax. Okay, and I think that the reaction of the Ford team is indicative of what we can expect going forward. He was on this show and indicated he's going to find efficiencies, he's going to reduce spending by about 4% of the budget, which would be about $6 billion a year. So something's got to be reduced. And I think this is shaping up as a contest between, and the Liberals will use this a lot, care, not cuts. Care versus cuts. What are you going to cut in order to make your numbers work? We admitted we're going into a deficit. We've incurred a deficit. We're spending it on these socially meaningful things, and you just want to cut. So I think this is how the election's going to unfold is starting to take shape.
For sure, and certainly the focus, since we're talking about some of the items that had been in the budget that are contributing to this deficit, there's been the focus on the care, and certainly we're seeing the transition of the government talking from fairness to care, still with opportunity, but ultimately that's the narrative, is now care and opportunity. So it is possible to lose in all this, that there actually were some other measures that weren't care related necessarily that were announced. One of which was, there were a number of economic development measures that were put into there, which obviously more money to those would add to the deficit, but hopefully the idea is that those will grow the economy. People might be familiar with the Jobs and Prosperity Fund, which is sort of the signature government grant program that the Liberal government introduced. And so within this, the 2018 budget, there was a renewal of the Jobs and Prosperity Fund. In fact, it was about $935 million that was put out there. And the Jobs and Prosperity Fund had 3 streams that were funded, the new economy stream, a food and beverage stream, and a forestry stream. And in fact, there was within this budget 2 new streams that have been introduced with a focus on the tech sector and advanced economy, sort of new economy components, so particularly about scaling up ventures and innovative startups. So not large sums of money in there, but again, for companies that are promising but also quite small and perhaps aren't having ability to attract sufficient venture capital or to add to the venture capital that they're achieving. So we've seen in the fall economic statement where there was a commitment to a regulatory super sandbox and an accelerator office for fintech, that there's this focus on trying to advance the economy in a number of areas where sort of the jobs of the future are going to be. And that really got continued today in the 2018 budget where the economic development measures were in place. So things like artificial intelligence, certainly more money for the Vector Institute, but also other things like transformative technologies, as they were called, like autonomous vehicles, supercomputing, so forth, as well as other promising startups.